He does that. You know, there are a lot of Americans who see him going to take these trips this week to promote this popular law and think, okay, but why can't he take time to go down to the border? You know, you said last week, and you've said before, it takes a lot of resources to get him there. It's taking a lot of resources to get him to Pennsylvania and Georgia this week, the vice president out west. Why not take the time to schedule something to go there as well?
Well, I would say, Ed, that his focus is on developing solutions, pushing his team, encouraging his team to develop solutions that will expedite processing at the border, that will open more facilities, that will ensure kids are treated with humanity and also treated safely, and that's his focus. And so that's where he's putting his efforts on immigration.
And what is the status of allowing cameras into some of these facilities? We've been asking for weeks about whether or not the press will ever get a chance to see either the Border Patrol or the HHS facilities.
We continue to support transparency, and from here, from the White House, and DHS oversees some of the facilities, HHS oversees some of the facilities. I know that they're working through how to provide access in a way that is abides by COVID protocols and also protects the privacy of people who are staying in those facilities.
Just one Cuomo thing. Has the president himself spoken to the governor?
No,
Has anyone here at the White House spoken to the governor?
not that I'm aware of, no.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. First, a question about workplace safety. OSHA is up against a deadline set by President Biden to decide whether or not there need to be emergency temporary standards for COVID-19 safety for the next 6 months. Is there any concern that additional federal regulations might, and the cost of complying with them might be a burden on businesses already struggling to survive?
Well, first, the president signed an executive order, which I know you're familiar with, but back maybe the third day he was in office, because he wants to ensure that workers are, of course, safe. He's asked the American people to do their part to help quickly beat the virus, and he has directed OSHA to determine if an emergency temporary standard was necessary to protect workers from COVID. So his objective is actually to protect workers and members of the workforce. The OSHA has been working diligently, but we, of course, believe they should have the time to get it right and time to ensure it's right. And so we're waiting for them to make a conclusion.
And as the voice of the White House, how hard would it be to convince people in some states that are trying to open up quickly that there are new federal rules that they need to follow instead?
Well, there are no new federal rules yet. We will let OSHA put out their guidelines, and then, of course, we will work to ensure that people understand why and that they support workers being safe, which I think even many owners of businesses would support.
And then on immigration, does FEMA's arrival at the border mean that the administration feels what is happening down at the border is a disaster?
I know that we always get into the fun of labels around here, but I would say our focus is on solutions, and this is one of the steps that the president felt would help not become a final solution, but help expedite processing, help ensure that people who are coming across the border have access to health and medical care. Clearly, the numbers are enormous. This is a big challenge, and it certainly is a reflection of using every lever of the federal government to help address that.
With FEMA, though, specifically, their mission is helping people before, during, and after disasters. We've heard you say that it's a problem, that it's a challenge. Is it now a disaster?
I appreciate the opportunity. I do like your mask. But I will say that FEMA is there to help ensure that the people who are at the border, who are coming across the border, have access to HHS and ORR shelters, that we can swiftly place them with vetted families. They're playing a number of roles there to address what we feel is a significant problem and a significant challenge. And I think we haven't been hiding about that.
And then just a quick final one. DHS said that the FEMA plan for 90 days would be to receive, shelter, and transfer unaccompanied children. Does that mean that the federal government now is moving beyond the message from the last couple weeks, which was now is not the time to come?
No, we are doing both, and it's a complicated problem, no doubt about it. We are sending the message clearly in the region. Now is not the time to come, but also we want to ensure that people are treated with humanity, who are children, who are unaccompanied children. That's who we are as a country, and so we are doing both.